The Chiefs fall to the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday Night Football by the final score of 31-28. And with this loss, the Chiefs moved to 2-3, and the Jags advanced to 4-1. Liam Cohen gets his first statement win against the defending AFC champions, and you just can't help but feel like the Chiefs gave that one away. So we've got a lot to get into in this post-game show, but if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Michael Darcy, and you're watching the KC Sports Report. Do me a big-time favor and hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more daily Chiefs coverage. I will say that I was flying back from Austin, Texas during this game. I had a layover in Dallas, and there was a big mishap with the planes, so we had to deboard, get back on, so I did miss pieces of this game, but I watched enough of it to give a pretty comprehensive breakdown. In fact, I watched the Chiefs defense unravel in the fourth quarter, and all the flight attendants on the plane were asking me, what's going on? Well, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for what happened in this game. The Chiefs completely imploded on offense to a certain extent. The special teams unit was god-awful, and the defense just withered away with the Chiefs leading late in the fourth quarter. So while I was trying to find the words to describe this game on my 7-hour travel day, I feel like the biggest takeaway that I have is just the Chiefs killing themselves again. You know, the biggest play in this game was the pick six that Patrick Mahomes threw to the linebacker of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, that was the biggest point in this game. It was a 14-point swing. And when you saw the Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker, Devin Lloyd, kind of pick off, a pass that was intended for Travis Kelce, take it 99 yards to the house, I mean, that was the turning point. That was a 14-point swing, and the Chiefs were able to get back in it. But again, those self-inflicted wounds. Harrison Butker with a chance to, pin the Jaguars back deep into their own territory when they got the ball back with that final drive of the game. He kicked the ball out of bounds. Like, that's the kind of stuff that you cannot have happen. The Jags got the ball at the 40, and they went down the field and eventually scored on a play that Trevor Lawrence fell down not once, but twice, and still found a way to get up and, get into the end zone. Trevor Lawrence scored twice with his legs in this game, and man, it just felt like the Chiefs gave this one away. Quite simply, they should have won this game. And that's a tough one to stomach because in the first half, the offense looked so good. They jumped out to a 14-point lead. And again, I was watching on the plane and I was like, okay, this is an offense that is starting to come out of their shell. And I was like, maybe that last week's performance against Baltimore wasn't a fluke. And I still don't think that the offense is completely to blame for this loss. I mean, again, the pick six from Patrick Mahomes, you cannot throw that interception. And even if you do, you cannot let that result in 6 points for the defense. That was the turning point. You felt the momentum shift in this game, and while the Chiefs were able to get back in it, because Trent McDuffie was able to intercept Trevor Lawrence for his first of the season, and the Chiefs would go on to score, it just felt like, you gave them a possession, and it allowed them to get the ball back last. This was a game where the last team to touch the football was likely going to win. And you saw when the Chiefs were down 24-21, Patrick Mahomes orchestrated a masterful drive to go on to score. Kareem Hunt got in the end zone, but you left too much time on the clock. And when you pair that with the special teams mistakes where Harrison Butker kicks it out of bounds, and then all of the holding penalties, man, I mean, we're going to talk about it later on in this post-game show. The Chiefs killed themselves on multiple drives and multiple special teams plays with just costly penalties. And, when the Chiefs were down 31-28, they kicked the ball off, or they were receiving the ball. Brashard Smith had a fantastic return, and guess what? It got called back because Jack Cochran got a holding penalty. That's the kind of stuff that cannot happen, and it happened way too many times tonight. And I want to pull up this tweet from Nick Jacobs and Harold Kuntz. The dropped interception on defense, which, oh my goodness, I was watching this on the plane and I literally screamed out loud, how do you not catch that ball? Everyone looked at me like I was insane, but how do you not catch that football? So the dropped interception on defense, Lawrence getting to escape from the pocket countless times, the red zone pick six, penalties that stalled drives on offense, the Butker kick out of bounds, a mistimed jump on a clutch throw, and Connor PI. Yeah, Shamari Connor had PI, which put them at the 1 yard line. So many things derailed them. And again, Andy Reid spoke in his post-game presser, quote, "We had 13 penalties to their 4. Whether I agree with them or not, it doesn't matter. They called them. So you have that many penalties, you give up field position, you can outstat them to death, but that doesn't matter. It's the score that matters." And in fact, I want to go ahead and pull up this Matt Derrick tweet, and the streak ends. The Chiefs win the turnover battle 2-1 and still lost. The Chiefs outgained Jacksonville 416 yards to 319, somewhat offset in penalty yardage. The Chiefs gave up 109 yards to penalties to the Jacksonville Jaguars 25. How did KC lose this game? And I'm going to go ahead and go full screen. This shows you the first downs. The Chiefs had 28 first downs in this game to Jacksonville's 21. They were 5 of 9 on third down. And if you just look at the offensive stats, they outgained Jacksonville by a considerable margin. They ran more offensive plays. They gained more yards on average, and it didn't matter because the Chiefs made too many mistakes and specifically too many penalties. The pass interference call on Shamari Connor, that was a backbreaker. It gave the Jags the ball at the 1 yard line, and at that point, you knew they were going to score. The penalty on, Harrison Butker kicking the football out of bounds. You cannot have that from the kicker that you were paying the most in the NFL. The penalty where Brashard Smith was able to have a nice return and then Jack Cochran got called for a holding call. You cannot have that. The Chiefs' offense was riddled with back-breaking penalties in this game, and it killed them. It absolutely killed them. So I'm coming out of this game feeling not great about the penalties, but I do think there are some optimistic signs. And I'm not trying to say that, as we can just excuse this loss because the Chiefs gave this one away. This was a free win. You should have won this game. You were up by 2 scores and you choked it away. And you might be wondering, Michael, it seems like when Andy Reid gets in these moments, he almost lets his foot up off the gas, and the Chiefs don't play as well. Well, I'm going to pull up this stat because I was absolutely mind blown. This is coming from the Associated Press. Andy Reid's 18 losses, playoffs included, in games his team led by 14 points, are most for any coach in NFL history. Next highest is 12, and it just doesn't even come close. Reid's 310 winning percentage it's very small. 310 win percentage in those games ranks 57th out of 68 coaches with 50 leads in 14 plus games. I hope you guys can see that stat up on the screen. Again, it's 3:30 in the morning. I'm kind of rambling a little bit. But Andy Reid did not coach a great game down the stretch. And I think we shouldn't bury Andy Reid as much as we should bury Dave Toub. Dave Toub's special unit today, the special teams was god-awful. And honestly, I think it might have been the reason why you lost this game. All of the penalties, all of the, things that they didn't do well, and it set this offense back. And I actually thought that the Chiefs' offense, for putting up 28 points, I don't think they were the main issue. But again, the Chiefs made a couple plays where, if you don't make those plays, you win this football game. If Patrick Mahomes doesn't throw that pick six, the Chiefs are walking out of Jacksonville with the win. And that is a tough pill to swallow. And I want to talk more about this because I do have more thoughts, some positive, and we'll get to that right after a word from our fantastic sponsors. This video is sponsored by my friends over at DM Injury Law. injured in an accident, you could be entitled to significant compensation, but time is critical. Rely on the experienced personal injury attorneys at DM Law, Kansas City and Missouri's top injury law firm. DM Law is a full-service personal injury practice supported by a large team of investigators, case managers, medical records specialists, and more. And best of all, you don't pay unless they win. DM Law operates on a contingency fee basis, meaning no fees unless they win your case. And they also provide free consultations. So if you've been injured, don't wait. You can contact DM Law today for a free consultation and learn how they can help you pursue the compensation you deserve. Let them handle the fight while you focus on healing. Hurt in a car wreck? Call Mike. Remember, Mike's got this. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Thanks to DM Injury Law for sponsoring this video. The Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway is the place to be. With over 1,500 slot machines, 35 table games, 4 restaurants, and an ESPN Bet sportsbook, there are plenty of ways to find your fun. For more chances to win, follow their Facebook, Instagram, and X. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Special thanks to the sponsors that have supported this channel all football season long. Now again, guys, I didn't get to watch every single snap of this game. I was in between planes. Like I said, got delayed in Dallas for a long time. But the snaps that I did get to see on, the American Airlines television and also listening to Kevin Harlan on the call, from what I heard in this game, the Chiefs gave this game away from multiple plays where if they go a different way, the Chiefs probably end up winning. And to kind of give you guys a positive spin on things, I do think that once they clean these self-inflicted wounds up, they're going to be okay. And I know that's hard for a lot of people to believe. And maybe it's because I didn't get to watch every single snap of this game, and I will do that over the course of this week. But I feel like the Chiefs have done this for years now. They've had a couple games slip away doing Chiefs-type things where the special teams isn't good or the offense gives it away or something kind of fluky happens where you drop an interception that you normally come down with. So I am optimistic that, they're going to be able to clean these things up and they'll be better. And I think why I feel maybe more positive after this win is because the offense put up 28 points. And you saw someone like Tyquan Thornton continue to emerge. 3 catches for 90 yards. Travis Kelce had 7 for 61 and 1 touchdown. Hollywood Brown had 4 for 48. Xavier Worthy had 6 for 42, playing through that injury. Brashard Smith continues to get more involved. He had 3 catches for 32 yards. Isaiah Pacheco had 3 for 20. Juju Smith-Schuster had 2 for 17. Rushing the ball, they still do leave a lot to be desired. They did rush for 158 yards as a team, but Patrick Mahomes was the leading rusher with 60 yards, so it kind of takes that shine away a little bit. But Kareem Hunt had 7 carries for 49 yards with that long run of 33 yards. It was kind of nice to see that explosiveness. Kareem Hunt 5 years ago would have juked that safety and took it to the house. So it does kind of suck to see that. But, Isaiah Pacheco, 7 for 36. I think that we would obviously like to see more from Pacheco, and I think we would have liked to see more from the Chiefs' running game. They ran the ball 22 times, but going back to that stat about Andy Reid not coaching his best football when up by 14, they could have ran the ball more, and who knows, maybe in that goal line situation, instead of throwing the ball, they would have ran it and got in the end zone, and they win this football game. So, yeah, there are a lot of frustrating things from this loss, but I also think that if you look at this team, while they've been incredibly inconsistent, they were missing Xavier Worthy. They're going to get Rashee Rice back in a couple of weeks. You play the Detroit Lions next week at Arrowhead Stadium. This is your chance to get back on track, win that game, just survive, get to 3-3, get Rashee Rice back on this offense, and I think you're going to see them continue to take another gear, take another step forward. I think that what we saw from the defense tonight wasn't great. They kind of choked away this game in the final minutes, but if Butker doesn't kick that freaking football out of bounds, who knows? And if you don't throw that interception, you don't put them in that position because the defense only gave up 24 points tonight. That pick six changed the game. It really did. And I feel like we've been talking about that all season, that it's a mistake here, a mistake there. The Chiefs continue to make mistakes, and it's what bit them in the ass tonight. So I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. How are you feeling after this 31-28 loss where the Chiefs collapsed to the Jacksonville Jaguars? They gave this game away. They could have advanced to 3-2 and got back into the AFC West conversation. And now the AFC West is still up for grabs because the Chargers lost to the Commanders, and there's a lot of uncertainty right now, but it would have been really nice to pick up a win in Jacksonville. It'll be very interesting to hear what Andy Reid has to say about all of the penalties. And Dave Tobe, not a good game from you, my friend. Not a good game whatsoever. So I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. I think the special teams unit is maybe the biggest reason why you lost, but also Patrick Mahomes throwing that costly interception. If he doesn't do that, you win. So drop your take down in the comment section below. That's all I've got for this video. It's 3:45 in the morning. I'm dead tired. I want to get this post-game show up for you. You're going to be seeing it at 10 or 11 o'clock, but these are my instant thoughts to this Chiefs loss. We'll have more content coming over the next 3 or 4 days about this game, and then we jump right into previewing the Chiefs' next matchup against the Detroit Lions. So once again, the Chiefs lose this game in Jacksonville on Monday Night Football by the final score of 31-28. Hopefully they can get back on track next week. That's all I've got. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, go Chiefs.